Okay, people, we are at Good Samaritan Hospital for Valerie's appointment. And we get parked here. It took us a while to find the place. And not a bad view. Another thing I want to point out. It's a nice view, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know. Okay, another thing I want to point out, because I'm always complaining about parking, disabled parking. And the reason is because there's a standard. Okay, there's a standard when it comes to disabled parking. Okay, so this is the disabled. It's, the paint's bug on, but you see all this space here. All of that space right there is van accessible. They've even gone so far as they put a no parking sign, anytime sign right here. This is the roof of the garage, so it gets a lot of sun, so it's pretty faded. Oop, my hand's getting in the way. So anyway, we're going in. Talk to you in a little bit. We're inside. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we gotta get you kind of like the way you would be if. There we go. So we get rid of the seatbelt. Get this out of the way. Okay, so I keep holding it differently, so I'm putting my hand in front of the lens here. Keep doing that. So yeah.
There we are.
See?
Hi.
Yeah. So there we are. Okay. So now, right now, we're waiting for her to. They're going to be checking your blood pressure. You're going to stand up, check your blood pressure. Make sure that you're not in danger of any kind if you stand up. They're going to get you into a standing frame. I probably have you in that for a period of time. Check your blood pressure, check your range of motion, make sure that it's an optional thing to do. Okay. So, they want to be careful. I can appreciate that. And we're praying that everything turns out right? Say right.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a standing frame table. It's obviously not a wheelchair. This is something that they use. Some people have them in their home as a therapy. But that's one of the things they're going to put it into.
Speaker.
Hey, Dwayne.
So,
That depends on how you have the scanner set up. Sometimes you don't get so much.
But it's at like 10 degrees angled forward, the seat angle.
Oh, it should just
Turn.
so it opens it up. You might have to lift the front just to help it. It's because of the weight of that tray. Oh, wait, but you don't have the tray.
no.
We do have a tray, but but it actually feels like I'm tightening the knob all the way to the end.
Yeah. Make sure is it in a standing or sitting?
Sitting.
Sitting. Oh, that's weird. It should just, I don't know why.
Okay, I should have grabbed you when you were here.
Making me nervous. Okay.
You're taking pictures of her.
Yeah, pictures and,
Trying to think through all the components as we go.
So one of the things, like I said, dealing with the concept of funding.
Mm-hmm. Check here. Okay. All right. Are you ready? You're gonna go up. I'm just gonna watch this leg go. Any pain? Nope.
I'm videotaping this part. I'm videotaping. This kind of tastes me, doesn't it?
Doing okay?
Yeah.
So I think for me, I'm just wondering with the floor height about doing that. They're gonna do a modification with hanger with her AF raising or pinching,
Okay.
that sort of thing.
How do you feel, Valerie?
Yeah.
And this isn't super ideal. We have to play with the foot plates a bit more.
Sure, I can see that.
We've already, I think, just to get a sense of how you're doing,
Okay.
and what we're gonna really have to problem solve on that right foot. I'll tell you what. I did have a. Are you still videotaping? Are you still videotaping? Bending down off of the foot braces. You're just hanging out on your
Yeah,
knees.
this is that part where she hates these.
Okay.
She
Try to
There we go.
relax. See if you can relax that. Oh,
Okay, how's it going, folks? So we're back from the appointment, and if you saw from some of the shots, I mean, obviously there's no actual wheelchair was there. The idea was to get her into the standing frame, check blood pressure, make sure things are okay with that, make sure she didn't have low blood pressure from standing up, make sure she didn't get dizzy. There's problems like that. You know, we came back inconclusive at this point in time from getting a chair, and the reason being is that they're very concerned about her right foot, which, remember, yesterday's appointment was for a new AFO, or orthopedic brace for her foot. Now, mind you, we're not picking that up for at least 2 to 3 weeks. So at this point in time, we're back into a holding pattern, and as frustrating as it is, getting Valerie what she really wants and needs is worth all this effort. Fortunately, she has a chair that we can use still. We talked about seating, we talked about this, that, the other, and so there's some other possibilities. Some things I didn't know about. I did learn something. Her foot is, instead of like this, which you saw, is it wants to go like this, but it also wants to turn, which we already knew about that. It wants to have this rotation to it, and they're concerned about that. That's what concerns. Apparently, that's something I didn't know about. Botox injections will help that for up to 6 months, and it's not a permanent fix, but it would get under control. And so there's some other options that we're going to be looking into, and they're going to be contacting her doctor for some other possibilities too. So this has been a very time-consuming process. We're not done yet. Normally, if we weren't so adamant about getting the standing frame wheelchair, this would be done. We'd have a new chair already at this point. This wouldn't, but because Valerie's adamant that's what she wants, and she's willing to go through the extra work, and I'm willing to go through the extra work for her, with her on this. So we're doing this, and it's a long process. And tonight I'm tired. We've been driving a little, back and forth, and doing the appointment. Dinner's in the oven. I have guitar lesson tonight, which is good. I kind of need it to clear my head. Some other frustrating things going on too. It's have to deal with life as a disabled person. We have to deal with routine. We have to deal with funding every single year for her home care, so I can go to work. And so it's kind of it's a thing that really kind of makes me mad that we have to do it, but we have to do it. Every single year we have to go through and report how much we make, how much money we have, how much we have in bills, and from that, and mostly it's on the onus is actually on her. But we have to do it every single year. And it's like, you know what? Disability doesn't pay that much. There's not suddenly going to be this windfall of money from disability that was there before. So all of a sudden she's going to go. It's like, oh, suddenly you make $10,000 a month, and so no, that's not how it works. Disability is actually not very much money. So it's kind of a shoe-in, but we have to go through it. Well, the person who is supposed to review it kind of took their own sweet time, and the other division that had to report as no funding available, and so it's just a big mess. And we got it straightened out mostly, but there's still some problems. when these things happen, and it's very frustrating. And I'm sorry for anybody else that has to go through this kind of stuff. Fortunately, Valerie has me to do it with her, and to really fight the dragons on this. And I don't like fighting these dragons. These dragons are jerks. But hey, that's what you get for dealing with the state. That's what you get for being disabled in this country. And people are like, well, socialized medicine. Guess what? It's not any better anywhere else. You have to sit there anytime you have the government helping you with something. In this case, it's because she's disabled, so we need some help, right? They are now in your lives, and they can't stay out. Once they're in for good, right? So it's a very frustrating thing to deal with on a regular basis. So anyway, I'm going to cut it short. I've got a bad attitude, and you're going to get the positive side of this too, because I mean, it's going to be a few weeks before you get another update on the wheelchair. But hopefully something new is going to happen. I'm going to post some of the video that I took today, and some of the stuff that I did. She was in a standing frame. If you kind of look at if you watch the rest of the video that's happened before this, you saw her in a standing frame, which is a unique thing. But it really does represent how the standing wheelchair will work as far as supporting her without the knees and of the chest. Now, I was really happy. One of the things I want to point out, and I think I said it in the video, is how happy I was that she was standing straight and she wasn't leaning off to one side or the other. It surprised both myself and the therapist because when she sits in her chair, she always leans out to one side. And she wasn't doing that. She was actually standing very comfortably, staying right where she needed to be. And that was a wonderful sign. So if we can get this whole thing with her foot straightened out, I think we're in like Flynn, and then it's just a matter of talking funding and financing, and raising $12,000 through a GoFundMe. So when that comes up, I mean, I'm not going to start that GoFundMe until we know everything's taken care of and she's actually getting it. Otherwise, it's just a waste of effort on myself and your money pledging. And so anyway, God bless. Be sure to like and subscribe. More stuff coming, and I'll talk to you later. And it's guitar lesson night. Man, I really need this. All right, later. Bye.